I have a question. My brother-in-law. I have a nephew. He plays 12U ball in Central Florida. So we talk to them every weekend. They're pretty much living the exact same life that we are. He's the next group ahead of us age-wise. But every once in a while, there's slight differences in like how they run their playoffs and how we run ours and how the season starts versus when our season starts. So I guess my question is there a regional component to Pop Warner that kind of sets basic rules and sets basic schedules and timelines in certain areas, or is there like a national like template? Because I guess my question is, I don't know the answer. From the people I talk to, I seem to get like a little bit of a different experience in Pop Warner based on where you live. Like, what is the like parent Pop Warner handling, trying to lay out like a consistent experience throughout, regardless of where you live?
Well, so the challenge with that is in a lot of ways, we've got to plan backwards because we are a true national championship. You win and you move on all the way to Orlando. In terms of the start dates, so we do have some flexibility because, Florida is very different than Massachusetts in terms of temperatures and weathers and opportunities. So in the colder climates, they may start a week earlier than in the warmer climates, just to be able to get those games in. In terms of the playoff structures regionally versus even at the local level, my understanding is that's really based on how many teams are available in that particular league and so forth. So there could be a little differentiation with that, but conceptually it's pretty consistent. I think the schedule might change a little bit based on location. Florida, you can still be playing comfortable football late October. You may not have that ability to do that up in the northern states.
That makes sense.
And then everything flows down to, like, for example, even our regional championships, the Florida Southeast region is able to go a little bit later into November, and some of our other regions are a little bit earlier in November. A lot of that's just based on availability and also on weather conditions as well. We can predict the weather easier in early November, mid-November than you can in late November.
Yeah, and another thing, explain to me the divisions. So everyone in our league here in Charlotte started out in, I guess, what they call Division 2. And then as the season went on, we only got our schedule like 1 week at a time. And my thought is they're trying to like pair up evenly matched teams as opposed to just like laying out an entire. We have 1 billion teams in Charlotte. Our playoff has 16 teams just in our city championship playoff. And I think like 4 or 5 teams. And I think there's like 20 or something different associations. We have plenty of teams. But everyone started Division 2, but then there's an advantage to being Division 1 because I guess those teams can advance further into the nationals. Or we can, Division 2 teams can only go into regional. So just everyone's so used to like the Little League World Series, right? Where like you see and you win, you advance. Explain your version of the Super Bowl, the playoffs, as it pertains to like a true national championship.
Well, that's a good question. It's not the easiest one to answer. I guess simply a Division 1 is like for a larger metro area. Division 2 may be for a smaller group. And then there's we have situations where if you win several years in a row in Division 2, we kind of move you up to Division 1. So we do try and strike some parity that way. A lot of that may be based on how many kids per association. Obviously, if you're in a larger metro area, the theory is that you're going to have a stronger team than somebody in a more of a rural area, and there you have Division 1, Division 2. It's kind of similar to how the NCAA is made up between divisions, or FBS and FCS, I guess you could say. But so we're very similar to that, but there could be some variance in how that's managed at the local level based on some local conditions.